Right, let's get this started, shall we? We're having a look at BattleTech Operation Lancaster. Now, this is a piece of fan project, as it says there, created by Devon Ramsey. For anyone who's regular on the channel's Twitch chat, which there's so few of you, sorry, strong boy, strong man. It's Smitha, STI, on the chat, and this is a long gestating project of his own. He's put in an immense amount of time, effort, and money, I imagine, into getting some of this rather spiffy artwork made, as you can see here on the front cover, with a lot of original designs from his own creation, from his own mind. And so, let's get everything out of the way. Yes, you are looking at my desktop. Well, my web browser here, yes, Fancy Flight Games, it's not a porn thing, Eurogamer, IGN, I only go to those sites because I see what the news is, I don't listen to their reviews, they're both bullshit. MWO, Steam, Transformers World 2000, because you know I like Transformers, Amazon because you buy shit, YouTube, GameSlaw, great company to buy stuff from, also Tritex, War Thunder because, yes, I am in league with Russia, Atomic Mass Games because Crisis Protocol miniatures, look them up, they're great, my own Twitch channel for easy login. That, we don't need to look at the assignment table for that. Warhammer 40k because I buy the models, and that's something to do with Creative Assembly. So there's no porn links or anything. Don't want to try to think, I found this Pornhub. It's not there, okay? It's on a separate computer, hidden away from all of you. So let's just scroll down to the second page. We've, continued. This is stuff by Matt Mader. Matt was a regular on the stream chat and such. Dropped off since. Don't know where he's gone. We have to assume that he was taken by the pirates. As we go through it, this is a voluminous tome. I have to point out. This is over, as you can see at the bottom. This is 500 odd pages. Now I'm not going to be reading 500 odd pages of text. It's not because I think it's bad or anything. It's just a 500-page document to read through would be immense, not only on my poor throat to be able to get through, but also for the fact that it would make the video ridiculously long. The Operation Lancaster location there with the Akalan dragon as the symbol. Lots of copyrights and everything else, all that, as we're getting into the credits. And we can see a lot of the art is made by Matt Blogg, who is a familiar artist for many of you who've got any of the books there. We have, all writing credits and the such. We have additional input. So, we've got text and the such. You've got, like, Mighty Kolsch, someone else you mentioned, like Tigger, who's someone else from Tor, and all the rest of it. So, I mentioned as one of the additional writers, there I am, that's my first name, Tim, Critical Rocket, and The Bro, we're both mentioned there. We did have a part in this, we did write some of the character stuff, a lot of special thanks going on here. This is a completely free project that you can download, you have a look at. You can read all this yourself on that. I'm just going through, because as I said, this is a vast tome where we're covering the unit profiles, planetary profiles, the actual background of Operation Lancaster, the name, we organize it TRO basically. We've got the vehicles, export-produced vehicles, combat vehicles, infantry and pilot gear, battle armor and protomechs, BattleMechs and OmniMechs, aerospace assets, capital ship and space stations, unique machines associated with the Lancaster Coalition, celestial OmniMech configurations. Then it goes on. There's Clan Second Line, Dreadnought specific profiles. This fucker's huge. We've got a few. We've got short stories in there as well for anyone who's if they haven't had enough, there's even short stories to go through. And this thing is, it's wall to wall artwork. A lot of it wouldn't look out of place in a TRO. Let's face it. It's very, very good. You got some great sort of battle scenes here. There's my logo on the front of a Wolverine that's getting screwed up there, but it's going out swinging as it should. It's got my logo with the little rocket thing. It's actually one of the older logo designs, created by Kitty. As we go through Dreadnought, Stellar Industries. So we've got you got the whole background here. You got the founding and the early years. You go through the timeline from the 2041 onwards into obviously the post clan invasion era. Got some of these other like dropship sort of designs here. As I said, this goes on, covers all the big eras: Succession Wars, Amaris Civil War, all of that stuff. 39 full Succession War, Clan Invasion, Word of Blade Jihads, the Fedcom Civil War, Jihad Aftermath. So we go through all of that. We get up to the founding years and all the rest of it. Chunky Tank. But that's going to be one of the, if you're a visual learner, this has got it all for you. You know, there's artwork on every couple of pages basically. It's not like, you know, text heavy. Although I say that and then there's a lot of text here. But look, you know, then there's nice images that come up, like the Blackwood Templars mercenary unit were full fleshed out right up there, and all of their time when they were active, what they were up to, and different key points within the conflict. You got the Ronin Free Company's mercenaries, obviously referencing some of the stuff there that happened with old Razzle-Higgle and the such, including a rather chunky-looking Cyclops. Now, this Cyclops is familiar to me. I believe this is the War Crime. It has the name written on the side of the head. This was a Quad LB-10 Cyclops, which anyone who played MWO will have encountered the old War Crime Cyclops at some point or another. It's very brutal. Obviously got the Word of Blakey there. I'll keep my opinions on the Word of Blake out of the video, because I know there are fans of them out there. I'm not going to denigrate anybody who's a fan of the Word of Blake. That's perfectly fine. It's my own personal preference if I don't like them or not. You can like them. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure there's good stories in there. So we got some of the write-ups here. Operation Lancaster, relevant star systems in the year 3075 during the Word of Blake Jihad. We have several of the affiliations, as you can see on the map list. You get an idea of some of the stuff, where and when it's happening, included in the document. And some planetary write-ups. So we've got this awesome visual here showing you just one of the many advanced systems. We've got a dropship punching through the cloud cover there. Very nice. So yeah, you got full write-ups of some of the systems here, backgrounds, information. Obviously, sort of your average sort of jump distance, that kind of thing, how far away it is, but surrounding systems, complete write-up on these locations, and again going through all the different eras, what was going on them during those times, who controlled what, when, and where. So you've got a lot of that information. If you want to use the system yourself in any scenarios, you can get an idea of the kind of terrain, what kind of resources are available on the planet, its industry, that kind of thing. That's very useful. Waycross 2, or Theris, as its nickname. So you've got another sort of great sort of establishing image here of what you can expect part of the, you know, an area of the planet to look like, what kind of environment it's got, again, its location within the wider inner sphere, and again, all of its background, when it was colonized, what it was used for, different periods. Very sweet. Ashcombe 4, again, another fantastic cityscape shot here. And yeah, if nothing else, you've got some fantastic artwork here to set down as a GM to give an idea of, you might not use Ashcombe 4, but you might use this image to give players an idea of, you know, this is what an advanced inner civilization and one of their cities might look like. Give you an idea of you know, the kind of flavour of the setting. Pantherus 6 here, with its unique kind of architecture going on here, big like port area and such. So, you know, you've got lots of information, lots of stuff to work with, even some of the local wildlife, including a very Fu Manchu squirrel creature. As we go on, I'm not denigrating the designs, I'm not taking the piss, but the Fu Manchu stash is fucking chef's kiss. And then some backgrounds here from Operation Lancaster itself, full background. As I said, this is why it would be difficult to do anything really covering the entire book as a video series or anything like that personally. But I do encourage everybody to take a look at this, grab it from the download link that I'll have below, because even if you want to look at this and go, well, it's a fan thing, I'm not really interested. There's plenty of artwork here that you can use, as I said, as an aid, as a GM, to be able to give an idea of a location, or just, you know, having a look, taking bits and pieces. You might not want to use the Dreadnought Battle Code, but you may want to use one of the machines, for instance. You may want to go like, that mech looks cool, it's like a one-off that I might want to use as like a villain produced weapon type thing. You know, it's like this one-off mech, or maybe a small run of these BattleMechs were produced at a particular time, that kind of thing. You might want to use rejig one of the events and sort of fit it for your own campaign. That kind of idea. So, I think this is a great resource for those kind of scenarios that you want to create. Or if you just want to use any of the existing ones here. As I said, that's one of the great things about tabletop gaming, is that you can take existing material, you can take it and cherry pick the parts that you want that will best fit your scenario, your creation as a GM, and you can go from there. As I said, the thing is just full of really, really good reference artwork that you can just use as you need it for different bits and pieces. Lots of in combat shots here, and then showing the horrors of war, the losses, the stuff that we as players we never really think about. Who gives a shit if you just barreled through that building? I'm sure it wasn't filled with civilians who had lives and family and friends and stuff. Or stepping on that mech pilot who ejected. He probably deserved it. He does got some cool stuff in here, like just the innards here of a dropship. You can see, the setup of all the machines held in the different bays and stuff. So that's pretty cool. As I said, it's all within universe, so it's a great way of being able to say, like, look, this is the interior of an example of a dropship. Or you got like a salvaging ship here that's obviously grabbing some of the damaged debris, probably for carry it off to a facility, that kind of thing. So there's lots of little cool things like that. This is the organization chart, so you can see everything that everybody has, all of the different names of the machines, who the pilots are. Vera Restel, Kyle Hawk, Violet Evergarden, all these different pilot names and stuff that you can cross-reference if needs be. All the names and stuff, but it is a TRO. Don't worry, there are entries here for machines and battle armor and mechs. I'll read out a couple. We'll do a couple of those as well. As you can see, we're up to page 86 of 515. So you might look at it and go, Jesus Christ, this thing is this is a big. You can imagine you can't really imagine trying to print this thing out. Not unless you've got some spare ink in your laser printer. Just a couple of cartridges. I need another cartridge. Eject. Load the next one. Reloaded. Go. As the printer's overheating as it's trying to print all the pages out. It's like fucking Fury. Ready, loaded, away, boom. It's the fucking empty cartridge fires out the side and you load in the next one as you go along. Only printers worked like World War II Sherman gun carriages. Oh, look, a wheeled Hetzer. Isn't it beautiful? As we go through, we've got, look at this. McCracken would be very, very fond of this machine. Although, then again, I think McCracken would be very fond of either of these beasts here. Motorcycles less so, but definitely the cars. Definitely up McCracken's alley, and that's not that now just comes across as some kind of sexual thing. Anyway, the Vector Storm 6 high-performance motorcycle. Mass 381 kg, movement type is wheeled. Power plant is Orbital Heavy Industries OHI-10F Type A fusion engine. Cruise of 226.8 km an hour with flank of 345.6 km an hour. Armor is Vector Series Ultralight HMB BAR-2. Armor and equipment, none. Manufactured by Dreadnought Interstellar Industries. Primary factory is Dreadnought Vehicle Manufacturing Complex on Akala 3. Communication system is the Intercom Type 85 Sport. And navigation and tracking is the SporTrack GPS Pinpoint version 4. Overview. The Vector Storm 6 is a fusion-powered model of the Vector Storm series of sports motorcycles manufactured by Dreadnought Interstellar Industries. The premium-level Vector Storm 5 and 6 include state-of-the-art active suspension systems and chassis aerodynamics, a gyroscopic roll stabilization system, and a suite of extremely intelligent, customizable computerized control systems that seamlessly improve both the riding experience and overall performance. The successful fuel cell-powered Vector Storm 5 brought much attention to the Dreadnought-branded sport motorcycle in the early to mid-31st century, and the Storm 6's newer microfusion engine was a remarkable step up in terms of performance and range. The most significant downside of the Fusion model was that the power plant increased the overall weight of the machine by roughly 20% over previous models. At 4,788 C-bills, the Storm 6 is also nearly twice as expensive as its predecessor. Most consider the performance to be worth the cost of entry, however. Capabilities. The Vector Storm 6 was introduced in 3033 to much critical acclaim. The Storm 6 is powered by a proprietary Orbital Heavy Industries fusion engine, and it is virtually unrivaled in the production motorcycle market in terms of raw performance. Between its remarkable stability and agility, even when approaching its astonishing top speed of nearly 350 km an hour, the Vector Storm 6 is an already amazing performance motorcycle that's only become more impressive, with seamless improvements made yearly since its introduction. Variants. The Storm 6 ICE, introduced in 2015, this entry-level variant of the Vector Storm features a Class 10 internal combustion engine for a top speed of 248 km an hour. This motorcycle weighs 326 kilograms and costs 2,034 C-bills. The Vector Storm 4 also lacks the active aerodynamic and gyro stabilization systems of the higher trim levels. The Storm 5 with fuel cell is a step up from the Storm 4. The Vector 5 was introduced in 2021. It features a fuel cell engine and weighs 327 kilograms. While the fuel range is significantly reduced versus the internal combustion engine of the Storm 4, the Storm 5 boasts a top speed exceeding 291 km an hour. At 2,802 C-bills, this model is often the choice for motorcycle enthusiasts who want improved off-the-shelf performance, but don't wish to pay the full price of the fusion-powered Vector Storm 6. The Storm 7 supercharged version is the absurdly powerful and obscenely high-speed option package for the Storm 6. Introduced in 3060 is the Vector Storm 7. Visually identical to the Storm 6 for homologation processes, this rare and expensive option package was developed by the Dreadnought Interstellar Racing team for competition on Solaris 7. This motorcycle is not for the faint of heart. The Storm 7 weighs 407 kilos, marking it as the heaviest of the breed. The boosted top speed of this motorcycle, well in excess of 450 km an hour, while impressive, is essentially irrelevant, as it will never be reached during competition. Early rumours suggested that the Storm 7 would cost 100,000 C-bills new, which drew a strong buzz, both positive and negative, in the mainstream media, leading to most considering the machine to be far too expensive to be worth even considering for anything other than racing. However, when the Hyperbike competition spec Vector Storm 7 hit the open market, it turned out to cost just 7.4 thousand C-bills, plus dealer markup, which at first was extreme. This eventually calmed down once Dreadnought Interstellar Industries put their foot down and made it clear that any dealership that was caught marking the bike up for more than 25% would be cut off from the manufacturer altogether. For the teams looking to win the racing series that the Vector Storm 7 was built for, the absurd acceleration of the supercharged OHI-10F/SC Type B fusion engine, in conjunction with the highly advanced active chassis, made this machine the king of the hill for the top-level 400 to 450 kilogram class of the Solaris 7 Hyperbike Championship Racing Series. Should the Hyperbike Championship Racing Series ever be re-established, Dreadnought Interstellar Industries has promised to return with their famous factory-backed Dreadnought Interstellar Racing team. Notable riders include Bart Munro from Vector Storm 7. The famous six-time Solaris 7 Hyperbike champion himself, Munro was known for two things in his life: his absurd speed on the track and his eccentric personality. A truly kind-hearted man, he was most oblivious to the ills of society around him. The only things that ever mattered to him were speed and racing, and he made his impact on the history books thanks to his single-minded devotion to motorsport. Unfortunately, his career came to an abrupt halt after he suffered a stroke in 3065, losing much of his bodily coordination. Later passing from natural causes, he's remembered for his part in helping the Solaris 7 Hyperbike Championship Racing Series thrive in the 3050s and 60s. He still holds several track lap records that are likely never to be broken, thanks to regulation changes since his retirement and the damage inflicted by the Word of Blake during their attack on Solaris in 3068. The last motorcycle to be raced by Munro has been kept on display in the Dreadnought Interstellar HQ building on Akala 3, and this particular motorcycle features a unique livery that was hand-painted by Munro himself as an homage to an ancient animated movie from pre-spaceflight Terror. This motorcycle is also one that Munro rode to his sixth and final Riders' Championship, having collected enough points to clinch the championship, despite not competing in the last 3 of the 12 races due to his stroke. A reproduction wrap of his famous livery is available as a factory option. Munro was critical to the development of the competition series of motorcycles used by Dreadnought's racing team, as Dreadnought went on to win 2 more Constructors' Championship titles thanks to Munro's contributions toward perfecting the seemingly invincible Vector Storm 7. Over the 5 decades of their involvement in the sport, the Dreadnought Interstellar Racing team has claimed 16 Manufacturers' Championships, 9 of which came as a direct result of Munro's contributions to the team. And it's believed that when the Word of Blake struck Solaris 7 in 3068, the destruction caused to the racing circuits and infrastructure for the series was too much for Munro to handle. He died peacefully in his sleep the night after the announcement had been made that the racing series had been cancelled indefinitely because of this attack. The Solaris 7 Hyperbike Championship has yet to recover from the attack, but local racing championships using temporary circuits on airfields and even spaceports have been popular on numerous worlds for centuries, and some worlds even have permanent circuits established for multiple forms of motorsport, but these are only typical of wealthier planets. That was a cold read of that, by the way, but the only bit that caught me out was the homologation process there. But I hope that gives you an insight into how I do some Lore Warriors. Anyway, so that's the Vector Storm 6 high-performance motorcycle, a reference there to, obviously, Akira. So we won't be doing all the others, because they're a meaty bunch to get through. But, you know, we've got the high-performance hovercraft here, so there's some civilian stuff, which is always nice. We love our civilian vehicles here. When we want something a bit different, something a bit cool, there's the successor DS9 armored supercar. Which, we'll see, it's McCracken Extended Edition there for his weighty self. There we go, look at that, beautiful, absolutely beautiful there. So we go through. We've got the Foundation utility truck, another beast there. I'm sure, yeah, well, McCracken would have at least 2 of these things. One for him and his honeys, and another one there to carry all of his camping gear. The Oxen Heavy Hauler, very Optimus Prime inspired, as you can see there by the trailer. Very cool. We've got a few variants there. We've got the Fire Hunter firefighting vehicle. So yeah, you've got, as I said, lots of options here, lots of different cool things. We've got another sort of bay sort of artwork here. We've got one of the first BattleMechs. This is the Guardsman Light BattleMech, but we'll choose another one to read here. Which one will we go for? The Dorgus, maybe? Dorgus is nice. There's the Tyrant. Let's see. Obviously, I'll scroll back through these to give some more longer look at some of the artwork if anyone is interested in seeing them. The Hammer High. The Hammer High. Hammer Ho, Hammer Hey, Hammer He, Hammer Ho, Hammer High BattleMech. The Emancipator. Because that thing's just going to murderize you. I think that's one of the ones I wrote a pilot for. Yeah, the Headsman. Yeah, I think I wrote that pilot right up. The Reckoning. It's wide, but it's going to kill you. You know, it's just going to murder your ass. There's the Sumitha. The Assault Mech. Hybridized design, the Mattock. Yeah, very cool. The Neugen Assault Mech. There's one with a sword, I remember. I can't remember now which one it was that carried the sword, but was it the first one? We'll just go back through. Why not? I think it was the Guardsman that could carry a sword, but I'm sure Devin will correct me in the comments here. But let's go with the Guardsman Light BattleMech. It's a mass 25 tons chassis, Dreadnought Duraframe standard GDM 25/43S with a power plant being the Defiance 125 fusion engine, cruise of 54, max of 86 with jump jets provided by the Rawlings Model 52 for a jump capacity of 150 meters. Its armor is the GDM pattern Arc Shield Light Mark II standard with 2 B3M medium lasers and 4 Kicker machine guns. Manufactured by the Dreadnought Interstellar Industries, primary factory on Sky Heavy Ironworks facility Sky 4, and its communications as a Cyclops Skycom Able, and targeting and tracking as the Pinpoint version 1. Overview. Dreadnought Interstellar Industries' Guardsman Light BattleMech was designed from the ground up as an affordable machine for use primarily by militias and smaller budgeted militaries. Inspired in part by the popularity of August Industries' Urban Mech, but seeing the potential for a machine that had more overall combat flexibility in a similar price bracket, the Guardsman began deployment in 2681. Due to the limitations of a relatively small budget and an equally small development team allocated to the project, it wasn't until 2698 that the first production Guardsman began walking off the assembly line. The production of the mech has been nearly uninterrupted since, without a single known standardized alternate variant ever having been introduced. This relatively simple light machine was created to serve as a bridge between the cost-effectiveness of the Urbamech and the mobility of the Stinger. The hope had been that the cost of this machine would be somewhere in the middle of the two, but unfortunately the final product proved to be more expensive than either. However, at 1.7 million C-bills, the price has generally been easy for most militias to justify. The Guardsman proved to be more durable and more heavily armed than a Stinger, and nearly as fast as the lighter mech. While the Guardsman lacked the singular heavy-hitting firepower of the UrbanMech's autocannon, the clustered weapons in the Guardsman's torso, as well as its fully articulated arms and much higher mobility, granted considerably greater versatility, even if its weapons operated at a shorter range. The Guardsman can easily overcome this deficiency with its ability to rapidly close in and get into range of a target. Serviceability also proved to be a bonus for the buyers of the machine, as the mechanical simplicity of the machine gained the mech considerable favour with technicians and maintenance budgets alike. Capabilities. Powered by a reliable and easily maintained Defiance 125 rated fusion engine, the Guardsman is capable of a top speed of 86 kph. The Guardsman is also jump capable, unlike the later Ravage based on it, and its 5 torso mounted jump jets, giving it 150 meter jump range for quick relocation. Sorry. This is what happens when I read some of the stuff out over a period without a drink. Sorry. The Guardsman is armed with 2 Defiance B3M medium lasers and 4 Kicker machine guns, providing it an effective mix of both anti-materiel and anti-personnel firepower. The Guardsman is built on the easily serviced GDM 2543S standard chassis platform, and its 5.5-ton shell of Arc Shield Light Mark II standard armour provides acceptable protection for a light BattleMech. The Guardsman is cooled by just 11 single heat sinks, although this is normally sufficient, even when the mech is being pushed to the limit. Flaws in the cooling system have been reported to result in the occasional spontaneous heat spike if the chassis is exposed to sudden stresses or heavy impacts. A common sight in militias then, and low-budget mercenary outfits alike, the Guardsman is ubiquitous across the entire Inner Sphere and periphery states alike as a patrol and general-purpose light machine. This mech has also proven to be a popular choice amongst the pirates of the periphery, no doubt due to its easy service and simple construction mechanics. Interestingly, as was discovered during the Dreadnought Battle Call's time spent in clan space following Bulldog, this machine does not appear to have been among the mechs taken with Kerensky's Exodus fleet, as no Guardsman mechs have ever been recorded in the history of the clans. Related designs would be the D2 RVG-X1 Ravage. It was a mech that was the first to be given the Ravage name, but it could just as easily be referring to the Guardsman 2, as that was the development name for this machine. The X1 was produced in 3052 between that and 3055 with just over 600 examples built. The 25-ton mech is based on the Ravage 2543 Endosteel chassis, co-developed by Orbital Heavy Industries and powered by a 250 rated Magna extra light fusion engine for a top speed of 160 kph. It's protected by 4 ton of Titan plate standard armour, and this nimble mech is notorious for its extremely thin rear armour, even for its class. The Ravage light battle mech is armed with 6 Chiscomp 39 medium lasers, 3 in each side torso, and a single CT mounted Zippo flamer with 20 double heat sinks. The cooling system of the Ravage is vastly superior when compared to the original Guardsman, with a relatively rare sight, all the rarer since many of them were destroyed during the clan invasion. The Ravage BattleMech has been noted to still be in active use in various militaries across the Inner Sphere, and it features the following design quirks of narrow, low profile, and weak legs. Later on there was the Ravage 2, which was the descendant OmniMechs created exclusively for use by Dreadnought and its defense corps, and they're considered the ultimate evolution of the Guardsman design. That gives you an idea. So you can see a lot of the very nice clean art there. Nice action shot of it sort of skidding in after it's jumped, landing on the ground. As I said, there's a few of these. You've got a few like parallels there. You've got like your Locust sort of analog, and like a Centurion type design here with the Tyrant. I like the touch with the arcing electricity off the PPC as it fires. It's quite cool. A few of the special variants there. Obviously something that could be akin to a rifleman in the form of the Oryx. Or something thereabouts, As I said, there's a few analogues here and there for different machines, like the Hammer High. Ah, yes. Lieutenant Parker Llewellyn Ladiesman Bowles. Created and written by me. God. I do apologise. If you read any of those pilot profiles, I do apologise if they're terrible. The Emancipator Assault Mech, as I said, I believe part of that one was written... Yeah, the Headsman was created by me. I'm not saying this, but this just looks like a vanity thing. Now I'm going, look, cherry picking. There's the bits of me that I wrote. It's just they're just scrolling up on the screen. As I said, the design was created by Michael. As it says, collaboration with Devon. It's used here with permission. Is Metal Core collectibles, so you can find them. All the links are there. This thing is hyperlinked, so if you see any of the ones with the links that you want to see, a model of whatever, they're all there, available. for you to buy, should you wish. Or if you want to see more about the designs and such like this, obviously like the Sumitha and the Matok and the like, because other people obviously had input on some of the background stuff, pilot stuff, that kind of gear. So yeah, it's hard not to get a kick out of it when you see your own stuff, you know. This is a beautiful shot of all the load lifting and stuff like that. I said it's just full of tons of artwork like this. I guess the only thing you could say is like the TRO right, like, I mean, this thing for like the Albatross light attack VTOL. This is significant. This would take up a significant chunk of this video. Having to read this out because it's, as I said, it's voluminous. There's a lot of text in some of the parts. I suppose you could say that might be a drawback in the respect that there's just a lot to read. But you know, at the same time, it also gives you just a ton of options and variability there. And as I said, it's just so much artwork as well. Every single vehicle, every single mech has all got its own full write-up. Battle value as well, if you do want to use it. Slapping in there, like the Sprinter light tank. Judged by the artwork, you know, if you didn't read that as light tank, you wouldn't necessarily associate that as being a light vehicle just by the art. That looks quite big, but yeah, it's a feral size, but 35 ton. Oh god, sorry, the RPPC. Jesus Christ, I've wrecked my throat. Got the Marathon medium, like the Dozer blade on the front. It's quite good. Urban combat machine there, basically. The Quake tank destroyer. With soundtrack provided for the crew by 9 Inch Nails. But yeah, that's what this is. This is just it's a love letter to BattleTech. Let's say there's a lot going on here. There's tons. As I said, we're 172 of 515 pages in. As I said, reading all of the entries of this would be a significant time investment. We'll read the entirety of the book on stream or on a video for the mere price of £200. Fusilier flak tank, pretty good there. The Sledgehammer artillery vehicle. That's very reminiscent of a lot of you know, like RTS games. You always get that big bastard that you know it's gonna drop rounds and just kill everything. That's exactly what the Sledgehammer does, and it does it well. 100 tons. I mean, you know, long-term artillery with a bunch of backup weaponry. It should kill stuff. Then you got other cool things. You got like again, like non-combat vehicles, like the Triton repair vehicle, little mobile repair bay. Anyone who's playing MechWarrior will remember the mobile repair bay idea. And you've got some of the infantry gear here. It's this very sort of a Devon's own acknowledgement. You know, you've got very Titanfall kind of influencing with the helmet designs and stuff, including some of the actual small arms. And this is probably some of the best like BattleTech small arms artwork that you'll probably see for a long while, because Catalyst don't put as much effort into... They honestly don't. They don't put anywhere near as much effort into the actual role-playing tabletop aspect of BattleTech anymore. They're mainly focused on what is essentially turning it into a war game now, which I think is a shame. I think it would be nice if they would release a new version of MechWarrior RPG, with some updated rule systems and the such, maybe taking advantage of the new open RPG license that's been produced, like the Orc by Paizo, that kind of thing, because I'm not going to endorse the D&D bullshit with that OGL recently. But you know, I mean, let's have a look at this. The DEMEC kit, the Dreadnought Elite Marine Infantry Combat Kit. The Dreadnought Elite Marine Infantry Combat Kit, or DEMEC Kit for short, was introduced in late 3073 and is loosely based on the standard clan infantry kit. Created to maximise comfort and function simultaneously, the DEMEC is a body armour suit designed for long-term deployment. Through use of a proprietary material known as Dragon Scale Memory Plate, or DISMP, damaged armour plate sections of the body can return to their original state or shape with the application of an appropriate electrical current, like clang copper. The body armour itself is designed to maximise flexibility while maintaining thorough protection of all vital areas. Due in part to the potential hazards presented by the chemical warfare commonly being waged by the likes of the Word of Blake, the Demek's underlying bodysuit has been constructed to be airtight, and it incorporates a personal life support system that will last around 15 hours without resupply. After 15 hours, the cylinder in the integrated lower backpack will need to be replaced. This cylinder contains air supply bottles and an air purification recycler and filtration system integrated into the single, easily replaced unit. The backpack portion of the torso armor is equipped with a modular quick disconnect attachment for additional storage, allowing it to be adapted for multiple mission parameters. The suit is also technically spaceworthy, though it is ill-advised to use in vacuum without an adaptation kit for any length of time. In terms of its built-in equipment, a communicator is available with an infrared scanner, night vision, rangefinder, and filter mask being incorporated into the kit's helmet. One special feature of the comm system is a point-to-point laser-based communicator, allowing for a direct line of communications that cannot be jammed through electronic countermeasure. This feature is rarely employed as it's difficult to use and requires both parties to not only maintain line of sight, but to look directly at one another for it to work. But in situations where heavy comms jamming is a factor, it's proven to be useful. The communication system also has a built-in automatic purge subroutine in case of capture. A high-capacity micro power pack is required to power the helmet, and it will drain one such power pack in around 6.6 hours of peak use. The helmet includes slots for 9 micro power packs to be used simultaneously to extend operational time to about 60 hours. A durable, high-quality combat knife is sheathed into the side of either shin as standard, designed to work in conjunction with the PAAR-15GL Infantry assault system. The advanced rifle's targeting system can be directly interfaced with the helmet heads-up display, allowing direct interaction between the soldier and weapon. In addition to creating a weapon sight overlay in the heads-up display for the soldier, this bolsters the effectiveness of the IFF feature of the rifle's TIS AAA smart targeting and tracking, as accomplished by utilizing real-time data from friendly troops, as well as increasing the number of sources of data collected by the rifle. The spine of the armor is designed to support the weight of the weapon, which is why the carrying strap of the rifle is designed to wrap around one of the soldier's shoulders. As a backup weapon, the choice sidearm of the Dreadnought Battlecore Elite Marine is the reliable and versatile Liberator Mark VI laser pistol. The Demek made its combat debut during Operation Lancaster in 3077, where it proved its worth during the fierce fighting in and around the capital city of Vyre. Where many other infantry kits used by the Great Houses of the Inner Sphere would have failed to protect the troopers wearing them, the Demek armor reduced the number of potential casualties considerably. Casualties suffered by the Elite Marine Corps were still severe, but there's no doubt in the minds of many of the survivors that the losses would have been far worse without their advanced Demek armor. So, obviously there's lots of stuff here, different kind of outfits, suits, depending on what you need. And we also got battle armor as well, like the Vixen light battle armor. Very cool. Very Slay Industries. Look at it, it's like the big gun on the side. The Kitsune medium battle armor. Or the Fox, basically, for the anime fan out there. Let's see more. We've got the Breakwater assault battle armor. Christ. Chunky boy. The Prowler Ultra Heavy Protomech. Little independent head. That's a bit intimidating with the little eye stalk things, but yeah, it's pretty different. And then we got BattleMechs. Oh, I think one of these OmniMechs might be one of the ones I was trying to remember. The Quen. I'm sure there's one of these that has sword equipped by default. I do like the pose here of the Quen. It's quite nice. There's the Ravage Light OmniMech. It's obviously the sort of upgrade of the Guardsman that was mentioned earlier. There's the Ravage 2 with its deployable wings, gives it a little bit of glide. That's in the air. Another nice piece of artwork there. The Douglas OmniMech variant. The Tyrant. The Crusher. The Crusher Joe. I've just got some other artwork here of some of the ones that you've seen earlier, the Hammer High and stuff. Different logos, different poses, so it's different variants as well. There it is. There it is. The Gun Knight and the Lancer. There's the one. Quite like that. That one's probably one of the ones I like the most out of them. There's something cool about underslung guns. I'm not sure how the hand would work as well. Maybe it rotates. I don't know, but still, it's quite nice. Obviously, the Emancipator, but this time without the blooded design, so you got like just nice, a clean version of it. If you want a proper look at it without being covered in blood and guts. There's a pilot there. The idea based on Kulsh's edition in there with the wrong colour. Oh, there it goes. One was going to load in for a second. You got the Mattock 2 again. As I said, the book is bristling with material, should you want it. I will probably not risk reading any of the other entries in this, because I can feel it that I'm just it's going to be like when I'm trying to record for my Kraken, and my throat is going, you need to take time. You need to back off from this, because you're just going to be coughing the whole time, and I doubt everyone wants to hear me like cough my fucking guts out while I'm trying to read out some of these, well-written articles. But it, as I said, it covers the whole spectrum really. And ultimately, if you're using, you could use any of these artworks, as I said, for any of your own kind of homegrown stuff as well, if you wanted to, as a GM, or if you just wanted to have something like this rescue recovery craft, for instance. You can repurpose it for any kind of period that you want as a setting for like one of your MechWarrior RPG games, something like that. Different dropships even, like the Borealis class, Colossus class assault dropship there as a refit. Yeah, if you don't necessarily want to use all of the Dreadnought stuff around it, there's plenty to sort of pick and choose. So, Mammoth class jump ship, which really is fucking big. Even some warships, so got some nice big guns for space combat. Should you be one of those rare few, I imagine, who do actually partake in the aerospace combat stuff? I'd love for them to go back to aerospace at some point in the future. Updated rule set, give us some fleet combat stuff. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Considering like fleet combat miniature games are back in vogue. You got things like X-Wing and obviously Armada. And there's the Star Trek one as well. I believe there are a couple of others. There's been other attempts, and there's older games out there like Babylon 5 Call to Arms. So I think Catalyst could really jump back on there and make a pretty cool space combat game of the BattleTech universe. This is all the one-offs or the specials that were designed. This is Vera Restel's mech. Sort of Hussar variant. Horned Owl version there. Davros's Thunder Chicken. There it is. The AC-20 mounting Raven. Anyone who used to watch the streams back in the day will know about the cluck cluck boom as he used to wander around catching people out, because a lot of people did not expect a Raven to be stomping around with an AC-20 in MechWarrior Online, but he got it going. He did well with that. So the Vapor Eagle, I believe this is the version based on, I believe this is Devon's version, although you'll correct me in the comments underneath. This is a nice artwork of a Shadowhawk though. This is really good. I do like that one. Now the Wolverine, that's the statue one. I was shown this a long while ago. This is like the in memoriam of the pilot there, with it's got my little logo on the chest. So I just remember that one. You got the rifleman. We'll grave it. I love all the empty shell casings on the floor. This is pretty cool. Like a heavily modified vulture there. A hand actuator. Ebon Jag, nicknamed Caroline. Cauldron Bone, though, let's face it. Much better name than Ebon Jaguar. Or Ebon Jaguar. Ugh. Although I can't abide it. The roughneck. What is this? Get it away from me. An Archer there, based on the later model Archer design with the larger expanded missile rack. Got our own whammy. Can't go wrong with a whammy. Black Knight there, unique one with a hatchet. A Helepolis. So I believe these are all ones that are like contributors or friends as such that just came up with like unique variants. Like the Demoness was one of Devin's unique model Timberwolves. I used a couple of times in MWO streams in the past. So these are all, I think these are all like players' machines that were brought in, friends and family and the such, or contributors having their own variants and stuff brought in. I mean, that is a frightening heavy LRM SRM refit there as well. Jesus Christ, it's a lot of missiles. But yeah, as you see, it's brutal. This is a great Battlemaster art, and this is the other thing. You can just it's some good reference material as well if you just want to like have a nice cool piece of artwork. And you want to like bring up just to show off some like sweet Aerotech, BattleMechs, tanks, whatever the hell you want, you know. The Scully Atlas. Nice Berserker there. Obviously they're all variants of, but still, you know, they look enough like the originals that you wouldn't really confuse them. I mean, that's the Goober Kodiak. For Goober Gabba. Like a late model Kraken. Specific, well, a unique version of it, you know, it's like, you know, it won't be exactly a Kraken, you know, it's a unique one. We've got some of these are some of the ones from the bad guys, the Wobbies. So obviously with the Celestis group, you know, because Word of Blake had very kind of angular specific designs for a lot of their stuff originally. So you got some of those in there. You got Clan second line like Wasp 2C, and the Beholder, Light BattleMech, the Screaming Cricket, the Screaming Cricket's going on. Lico. Yeah, this artwork's nice as well, just the sort of front profile. These are quite nice. In fact, I think a whole book with just this kind of artwork would be really nice. It's a nice idea, like the Rice Star. That's quite nice. Oblivion. Gives you an idea, gives you a sense of scale, weighty or not, you know, with the sort of lean kind of machines. Some of the rule stuff in there for unique equipment and the likes, and then we start getting into like some of the local fauna and Flora, some of the worlds and stuff. So, you know, if you ever want to introduce a unique creature on one of these alien worlds, because frankly there are a lot of them out there in the wider world of BattleTech. You know, so many different worlds. There's bound to be plenty of different creatures out there, and then you got the short stories that were created for the back of the book. You got some, again, just like insanely detailed pieces of artwork for each of these as you go through, set during different points of Lancaster's time frame. So, you know, what would be a BattleTech book without its short stories, eh? So usually they're peppered throughout, so they're all at the back of the book for this one. As we're getting into the later stages of this one, this is, as I said, this is an admittedly brief, although I don't know how long this video will be, but it was an admittedly brief look at, as I said, quite a big tome. Big old book, and then there's even a making of section at the back if people want to see just some of the design processes of some of the machines and the artwork as they kind of evolved over time with feedback from artist to writer and such. So it's quite a thing, quite an achievement overall, and yeah. As I said, if you want to have a look yourself, you can. It's in the link below the video. And this isn't a thing that Devin's asked me to do. He's not said, oh, could you please do a video looking at my Operation Lancaster book. There was a suggestion or a request by Ostego on my Discord about doing some Lore Warriors. And I said, and, you know, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Lore Warriors mainly built around canon material. But for the time investment and the energy and the expenditure that went into this, there should be some recognition. And I feel that this is the kind of stuff that I think should be brought out to the wider community out there for people just to see. As I said, if nothing else, you might just get a kick out of looking at some of the cool artwork, reading up some of the stuff. You might want to bring in some of the units for yourself to use in your campaign as a unique. You might want to bring in one of the existing unique variants there. You might want to use one of the vehicles as a unique thing. Bring it in. You might want to come up with your own like villain group, who might have a few of their own vehicles, maybe their own mech. You know, you have the resource right here to do it. So yeah, it's only fair. So that's what I decided to do. I can't believe that so far this thing has apparently blocked 712 items in the time that this has been up. Okay. Right, well, I will probably wrap it up there. Thanks everybody for sticking with, bearing with. If you've had a flick through, a read through of Operation Lancaster, let us know what your impressions are of it in a comment below. Once you've had time to obviously have a read through, check it out for yourself. Obviously, feedback can be given directly to Devin if you're on my Discord. He's a Sumitha STI on there. If you want to be able to speak to him directly about that, ask him any questions. He'll be more than happy to answer, I'm sure. Other than that, I will catch you all in a future vid. Going back, usual stuff, gameplay videos, lore warriors, me rambling incoherently like I am now. But until then, have a good one all. I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.